Fellas, what game are you calling?
I'm calling both games. Here is the extra point that...
All right, and welcome back to Get Mossed this week. We took a week off last week, and we're back this week. We are in a bit of a hurry this week, so production will be a little bit more simple. Just going to go through the games kind of quick here this week. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Our first game that we're going to look at here is going to be Steelers of Joy versus First Down Syndrome. Steelers of Joy versus First Down Syndrome. Steelers of Joy sucks. So, next question. We're going to go ahead and look at the Coblins versus Jalissa. Coblins ran away with this one, scoring 122.9 points to Jalissa's 91.6. It's been a real struggle of a season for Jalissa, currently sitting at 2-8. Steelers of Joy and Jalissa both 2-8, looking to hopefully step it up and make a run to stay off the bottom of the leaderboard. Moving into our lowest scoring matchup of the week, we had Daddy's team versus Diggs in a Blanket. Daddy's team pulled this one out, only having to score 86.12 against Diggs in a Blanket. Whenever you have Bryce Young scoring 1.6 points, AJ Brown scoring 3.3, Rashid Shaheed scoring 3.3, and Luke Musgrave scoring 5.3, you scored less than 80 points. Most of the time, you're going to lose. Moving into our next matchup, we have Jennifer Aniston versus Ricky Stenicki. It's one of those weeks where you just got to tip your hat to your opponent. Jennifer Aniston did score 134 points. Ricky Stenicki scoring 143.2. Carried by another huge week by Jonathan Taylor. Just looking at these numbers here, 244 yards, 32 carries, 3 touchdowns. Massive game, and an overtime win too. So, getting into our next game here, we have Widget losing again to Team McElhaney. Widget is 3-7 though. He is not at the bottom of the leaderboard. He is currently sitting second to last on the leaderboard. McElhaney still running away with it. A little bit of a drop in his scoring output because of a bad week from JJ, TJ Hawkinson, and Sam Darnold. But he was carried by this huge game from Devon Achane here. 22 carries, 2 touchdowns, 174 yards. Huge game from him. And then moving into our, best game of the week that we looked at, it was a .36 score differential here. Coop Cup Clan takes the win over Demarcus Arrest in a thriller coming down to that Monday Night Football game. Devonta Smith needed one more catch. Honestly, needed 4 more yards. He takes him down. But Demarcus Arrest has been sliding. If we go look at his past couple matchups, he's had, win, 3 in a row, losing them. 2 wins in a row, losing 2 in a row. Started off the season really hot 3-0, and then just kind of fell. Just started to struggle a little bit. But moving back to our scores, like we said, this was the best game of the week so far. Coop Cup Clan taking the W here. So let's go ahead and get into our projections here. First Down Syndrome in the rematch against Ricky Stenicki. First Down Syndrome is favored to win this one right now. Rico Dowdle's questionable, but we expect him to play. Lamar Jackson's questionable. We also expect him to play. After a huge week from Travion Henderson last week, where First Down Syndrome had him on the bench, he is now into the starting lineup with Mike Vrabel saying he should be getting a big load this week. Pause. Ricky Stenicki, they've been dominant this year, 7-3. Been crazy. One of their few losses this year has been to First Down Syndrome. So we are going to call this one the game of the week. It is a number 4 versus number 2, both same record. Last matchup they had was extremely close. So we're going to go off script here. Game of the week, first matchup we're going to go over. Second matchup we have here, we have Jalissa versus Jennifer Aniston. Projected low scoring, but that's because Tyler Warren is on bye. He hasn't put a new guy in yet. Kamara bye, Josh Downs bye. So if we pull up their benches here and take a glance at that, CeeDee Lamb's back, so CeeDee Lamb will be in the lineup. For tight end, we have Gadsden, who will probably be making a start this week, and Jalen Hurts, who will be in the starting lineup for Jackson Dart, who's injured. Kincaid also out It looks like projected. So Colson Loveland will have to make that start. I think Jalissa needs this win. Jalissa has to get this win if they want to stay off the bottom of the leaderboard. That being said, Jennifer Aniston losing here could make it really sticky situation for him. If you look here, they did have a previous matchup of this right here. Let's go ahead and pull that previous matchup back up here. If it will ever load. All right, we're not going to get that one to load. Back to week 11. So I think this one could be a very toss-up just because of all the people that haven't been inserted into lineups yet. Now moving into DeMar Rest for Steelers of Joy. DeMar Rest losing Ramondre Stevenson, who's out right now, is huge. But let's go ahead and look at the bench. He does have Krosky Merritt, the biggest industry plant in fantasy football history. He had a close race for that title with Trayvon Henderson, but Trayvon Henderson's big week last week kind of takes him out of that conversation. Looking over here, Steelers Joy did get Joe Burrow off the waiver wire with his speculated comeback here soon. Now, we do expect DeMar Rest to win just because Steelers Joy sucks. But anything can happen. But if you look at their previous matchup, we look at their previous matchup here, if this one will actually load. It won't. Okay. White screen. Let's see. Oh, that one loaded. Okay. Like I said, we're kind of going lower quality this week, so bear with me, folks. All right, cool. We're not getting anything to work. So, that being said, we're going to try and get this fixed over here on this end. Like we said, we expect DeMar Rest to take this win. Just because Steelers of Joy has the track record of not making the greatest moves. So, now moving into our next matchup here. We do have Daddy's team facing off against Widget. Daddy's team wins. I mean, Widget's not in last. Widget's not in last. We do have Widget taking this one here. We do have Widget taking a loss here, I should say. But you never know. Daddy's team could falter. They could stumble. They only scored 86 points last week. Last time they played, though, it got ugly. So, moving into our next matchup, we have the 9-1 Team McElhaney versus Diggs in a Blanket. This one also could be really close. I think if Diggs in a Blanket can really turn it up, I mean, if his players could play like we know they can, the only problem is A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's a big, big question mark this year. I mean, sitting at 11.2 average. I mean, he's struggling right now. If we go look at his complete stats here, 2025, he only has 31 catches for 408 yards and 3 touchdowns. Most of those came in that game a couple weeks back where he had a ton of touchdowns. I think he had two of his 3 touchdowns that week. But looking at the previous matchup, they did play in week 1, so this was an uncertainty. McElhaney did get the win there. But McElhaney's going to take this win. Firepower is insane. Getting JSN and Justin Jefferson in great drafting. So now moving into one of our closest projected matchups of the week. We have the Coblins and Coop Cup Clan facing off. Coop Cup Clan projected to score 126.9, Coblins 122.2. They did play in week 6. Coop Cup Clan did get that win. But these are two different teams now. We've seen people emerge. We've seen waiver wire pickups. So I think here in this situation, we could see it's not necessarily even an upset because 5-5 and 6-4. I think the numbers and the projections tell us to go with Coblins, just because of big play potential. But then you look at a player like Jamar Chase, who could pop at any time. Trey McBride, again, receptions machine. And let's go ahead and just take a look at his stats for the year. I mean, 61 catches, 603 yards, and 6 touchdowns for a tight end. You will take that every single day of the week. So I think this one also is a coin flip. You can go either or. Two good teams going head to head, trying to fight for that playoff spot. Speaking of playoff spot, us being here in our lower production quality, we can just look at this really quick. Here is our standings so far, guys. We have Team McElhaney sitting at the top. Jalissa and Steelers Joy tied for the bottom. Playoff chances. We got those bottom three all sitting at 1%. Jennifer Aniston has 2%, still holding on. If we look at these standings, the team has scored the most points this year. Obviously, it was going to be McElhaney, scoring 1,306 points. And team has allowed the most points. It has been Steelers of Joy, no question. Got to play better defense. But we are going to be wrapping up the show here. So, thank you guys for watching. It's a bit of a quicker one, bit of a more quickly put together one. Appreciate you guys for watching. You guys have a good one.